and welcome back for the finale of my windowed mod for the Fractal Node 202. We have the case cover cut, sanded, primed, and painted, and we also have the RGB LEDs measured, cut, and pre-installed inside the cover. I've also made a few minor modifications to the hardware itself to help with the temperatures due to the decrease in airflow. I've also added one more little bit of awesome detailing to really make this mod stand out. So let's jump in and wrap up this fun little mod. Alrighty folks, so I've got the cover reassembled with the glass sandwiched between the two pieces. I have my metal frame here with the black main body of the cover here. To fit the glass, I had to go ahead and take a rubber gasket here and attach one to each of these four corners. What this did is this prevents the glass from wiggling around while the case is attached. So with these covers here, the glass sits there nice and tight. I originally wanted to secure the glass in a way that would allow it to be easily removed. But after several pieces of glass going south, I eventually realized I didn't have the tools to do this. You can see here in each one of these corners, I have mounting holes that were the original places that the glass was going to be mounted to. Maybe in the future I'll do a follow-up and prep another sheet of glass to take advantage of this mounting style. So the paper covering the glass, folks, is to hide the etch work that I went ahead and did to this glass. Now, to do the etch work, I went ahead and created a stencil, which then I traced onto a piece of vinyl, transferred it onto the glass, and then used an etching cream to go ahead and etch the design. It turned out really well, and I think it'll be a nice surprise for everybody. I'll reveal this as a little bonus at the end of the video. All right, so let's turn over the lid and see what we have. So on the opposite side here, you can see everything is about the same, except you'll notice that I have my LED strip in place. Now, this is going to be the top of the case, and here's going to be the bottom of the case. On this side is where the GPU is, and what I've done is I've got my cable here for my RGB attached, and there's a nice little slot where this can just snake right into the actual body of the case, completely hiding this cable. This is a really nice arrangement and makes things a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, especially when I have to remove the case lid for anything that I might have to do. The supplied RGB LED cable from ASUS is long enough to go from the motherboard to the bottom of the video card, which I will get to showing you here in just a second. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the hardware. It did get a little bit of a change up. Because the glass cover has no ventilation for the CPU fan, airflow is even more restricted than it was with the original case cover. In the original case cover, there are some ventilation cuts in the case to allow air in while it pushes air out. The glass now sits completely over this area, and there is no way for air to be sucked in here. So the first thing was to remove the lid off the CPU and replace the TIM. I used the Rocket 88 delidding tool to pop the top and replace the TIM with Cool Laboratories Liquid Ultra. I opted not to reseal the CPU lid. In the past, when I did a few 3770K deliddings, I wound up having to reapply a bit more Liquid Ultra than I initially had to reach optimal temperatures. I have a feeling I will be doing the same thing to this CPU down the line. The Rocket 88 kit makes delidding very easy, as you've been watching, and it's much easier than the old razor trick of the past. Well, with the CPU back in place and the cooler reattached, I went ahead and replaced the original SCIFI 120mm by 15mm thin fan with a Vortex 12 120mm by 15mm slim fan, which is the one that you can see here. The company is a Pro Limatech, and you know this is a pretty good little fan. I read a few reviews showing better airflow with the Vortex 12 at 1300 RPMs versus the SCIFI at 2000 RPMs, and I'm hoping that this will help in reducing temps. I also know a few people that rave about them, so you know, I figured, what the hell, what do I really have to lose? So the last item on the list is to go ahead and run the RGB LED cable down through the case to the bottom left where the strip will be connected. Which you can see I've already done. So the cable connects right here just underneath the power cable. I have it running through right here, alongside the video card, down through this area, and down on the bottom here. So this will be an optimal place to hide this cable. Let me just put it right back here. When I get the case set and ready to attach, it will go here, obviously the other way, but this little cable here is going to hide itself through here, and it will just be a perfect place to hide that cable. Let's get to it. I'm eager to complete this piece and see it in all of its RGB goodness. Stick around. Let's put this thing together. It's done! All that's left to do is to tear this paper off, plug it in, and turn it on. Shall we see? Let's do this. Wow. I mean, wow. And there it is. There it is. I gotta say, wow, I don't have words for this. This turned out, it just turned out a lot better than I was expecting. And it just, when you see something in your mind and you look at something and you're like, that's how I want it to be, and then you do it, all I gotta say is, this thing is sick! Way better than I thought it would turn out. Yeah, okay. It has its minor flaws that I know will be driving me absolutely insane until I fix them. But for now, There's a Node 202 with a freaking window. How cool is that? That's so cool. I love it. I really do. I love the work that I did, and I think I did a great job. But all right. Excitement put aside, how is this thing doing? Well, after a bit of time using the computer in all its glory, I can see why Fractal Designs haven't made the case with a window. Airflow is super restrictive without a vent over the CPU area, and without going through the extra steps I did, temps were way off the charts. I mean, I was hitting 105 degrees Celsius and system shutdowns were happening constantly before I went ahead and did the delidding of the CPU and adjusting the fans accordingly. I'm also going to wind up replacing the Vortex 12 fan here with the original Scythe fan. The Vortex 12 does a great job when there's a lot of airflow. Matter of fact, it does fantastic. But with all of this restrictive airflow and having just a little bit of air being pushed up in this direction, the higher speed Scythe fan does a better job of pushing the air through the cooler and out the top. I also wound up having to underclock the 7700K and really dial in the voltage to the bare minimum to help control temps. In the end, I wound up maxing the CPU at 4.2 gigahertz instead of 4.5 gigahertz and running the voltage at a max 1.5 volts. This helps keep the temperatures under a full load, meaning I'm exporting from Premiere at around 85 to 86 degrees Celsius. While playing games, I have temperatures sit right around the 78 to 81 degrees Celsius. It's not bad for almost no airflow whatsoever, and that's using the Vortex 12. I'm expecting about a 1 to 2 degree drop going back to the Scythe fan. All right, so conclusion time. Was this project worth it? Well, hell yeah it was, and kinda no. It looks amazing, but the noise level generated by this machine to keep temps under 85 degrees C on an underclocked and undervolted 7700K is loud and absolutely unacceptable. The noise level before the mod was irritating, but now it is just beyond unacceptable. It's just so loud and it's just so annoying. When I'm sitting there trying to edit videos or I'm trying to listen to a soundtrack, all I hear is this of the fans just full tilt trying to provide enough air to cool this CPU. But, you know, I think I already have a plan in motion up here to resolve that issue. I have a ton of water cooling parts just laying around not doing anything. You know, I think I might water cool this case. Why not? I put a window on it. Temps are a little bit out of control, but you know what? I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to take all of my water cooling parts and I'm going to somehow ram everything into this case and I'm going to make a water-cooled, windowed Fractal Node 202. That's right, I'm going to not only water cool the CPU, but I'm also going to water cool the GPU as well. But that is a project for another time. So if this video was awesome, and come on, I personally feel it really was, how about giving me a thumbs up and maybe even subscribing to the channel? These projects are a blast and I very much look forward to sharing them with everyone out there, including you. So until next time, mod on.